Right, now we've got the actual rocker box, and we've taken the two inspection caps off the back. The reason for these inspection caps, the sole reason is for now putting the rocker back on, is that we can then get these get the actual rocker tips engaged with the push rods. That's the only reason that these holes are there for. Right, what I've forgotten to do is I need to put those little washers in place before I do anything else. So I just pop those in. Okay, now we've got the actual rocker box, and I've put the 3 little alloy crush washers in the lip there, if you can see that, and so we're ready to get on. And the first thing we've got to do, we've got to put it on loosely, and we've got to try and engage those push rods with the rockers. Okay, get my torch, and I'll get my little magnet, because the tops of the push rods are steel, and so they're magnetic, which is great. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got one in there. Got that one in. Everything's slid about a bit, the gasket and that. Hopefully we'll be okay. And we'll try and line everything up in a minute. So currently all 3 are engaged. Okay. So we'll get the cylinder head bolts and see if we can line everything up and see if we can get it all in without it jumping out or anything. Right, so we've got the cylinder head studs, bolts, and there are 2 that are very slightly longer, 2 that are very slightly shorter. So if you look at the profile of the rocker boxes, the 2 at either end are slightly raised. So the longer ones go in there, the shorter ones go in the middle. Get the shorter ones in first, because they're next to the frame and they can be a bit awkward to jiggle about and get in. Oh, I put some grease on the threads, by the way. So there's just a blob of grease on the threads of the studs. Aha. That's got one in at that end, and that's got one in at this end. Oh, damn. Flipped it up by mistake. Want to leave those rockers in the tubes. Sorry, leave the rockers in the push rods, and 2 have already peeped out with me just doing that waggling. Okay, those 2 are back in again, and I'll just put them in a few turns. Yeah, those 2 are feeling a bit tight for some reason. That's the thing about talking. You know, this I don't know if you can see, but this one is just screwed in by hand. No problem. These 2 are a bit tighter. What that means is, you know, if the bolt's tight in the first place, as opposed to loose, the bolt that's loose, when you torque it up, is going to be tighter than the bolt that's tight, if you know what I mean. So that's always the problem with the torque. Got the 2 yeah. I'll put the 2 corner ones in. Make sure that gasket doesn't move. And we've got it in the right place. Are we getting anything there? No. Yeah. Good. And then we've got the 3 Allen screws that go in that front lip. And what I've done is I've put well seal. I put well seal on the threads that these screw into, because as we were saying before, as I was saying before, the oil sits on this edge and it can actually go down the thread and leak out. You know, it goes down the thread of these bolts. So even though the head, it can sneak past there, go down the thread. So double insurance to actually put some well seal down the thread. So if it gets past those alloy crush washers, it's still not going to leak. Okay, I've screwed them all down so they're just touching the top of the rocker box. God's teeth. Right, where were we? Yeah, so I've done everything down by hand. Yeah, and now I'm just going to slowly, very slowly, start putting things on. I'll use the ratchet to begin with. I'm just going to slowly try and draw them down, and I'll be regularly checking that the push rods haven't jumped out. And let's have a look. I'm going to try and work out where the tappets are. So I think the high one, we're high over on this side. That's when I think this exhaust valve on this side is fully open. So that's where the strain's going to be. So I'm going to bring those down first. And as I do that, I'm going to check that the tappets, sorry, the push rods haven't jumped out at the top. No good. And then as we go down, we're also going to take down the little hand screws as well. Okay. I just don't want to turn the engine over until I've got everything tightened down. I'm just tightening the corners down because I'm going to turn the engine over and I don't want too much stress. I don't want any stress on the rocker box. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the plugs out so there's no danger of blowing the gasket, because of course still not torqued down yet, because I'm going to change the plugs anyway, because we're going to give the bike a service. So I'll take the plugs out and then we'll have a go at turning the engine over and see if we've still got all the push rods engaged. I hope we have. I'm a bit worried about this centre one, not sure. Right, what have we done? We've taken the plugs out, yeah. So what we're going to do now is very gingerly turn the engine over and just hope that everything's okay with the push rods. There was a little and that push rod's come out on this side. Shit. push rod's come out on the left, which is what I wasn't expecting, but it's definitely out. Now, with any luck, I can loosen the, I can try loosening the tappet adjuster, and hopefully I might be able to sneak it back in. Right, I'll loosen the tappet adjuster. Right, let's see if I can take this out. So I can take it out far enough so that we can lift it back into the cup. There, that's back in. There, good. That's roughly right, because of course we're going to go and adjust all the tappets again when this is done. Okay. Whew. Right, where were we? Oh yeah, we were just in the middle of turning the engine over. Let's carry on. Great. Phew. So I think that all the tablets are engaged now. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get the torque wrench out, and we're going to torque the head back down, the rocker box bolts properly. Okay, got the dear old torque wrench out. Going to tighten these up. They are in fact 18. That's the torque, and generally it's inside out. So you do it. If we're just doing a line, and we start off in the middle and work outwards. Again, it's a bit like putting on a sheet on the bed. You wipe it from the, you smooth it from the inside outwards, otherwise you get a crease. And it's much the same, because of course metal is liquid, not very liquid, but it is liquid. So you start off inside out, and from the inside, and then work outwards. Just general rule. And as we go, I'll just keep checking the tension on the Allen screws. And I'm also just going to occasionally tighten up the corner. That one's gone. And that one's gone. Goody, goody, goody. Right. I'm going to risk a quick spin over on the starter. Great. All good. Whew. All good. Wow.